Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome all of you here. My name is Stacey Bent. I'm the director of the Tomcat Center for Sustainable Energy. I'm very, very happy to welcome all of you here to the 4th annual Connecting the Dots Symposium. We're really pleased to offer this afternoon an exciting, thought-provoking program examining the interconnections between climate, energy, food, water, and the environment. The Tomcat Center, together with the Precourt Institute for Energy, the School of Earth Sciences, Stanford's Woods Institute for the Environment, Carnegie Institution's Department of Global Ecology, and the Stanford Alumni Association have organized this afternoon's session to illustrate how the great global challenges of the century are all tightly linked to one another. These challenges include providing clean, affordable energy, adequate food and nutrition for all, clean water for people and ecosystems, and a protected and sustained environment and planetary life support system. At Stanford, there are many faculty, staff, and students working on each of these grand challenges through their research and teaching. Our researchers are not simply approaching the problems individually, but instead are focusing on the interconnections and links among them. We will consider how decisions in one area can provide co-benefits in another area while avoiding unintended consequences, thus the name Connecting the Dots. So let me give you a little bit of the background of this Connecting the Dots series that we're now in our 4th event on. The impetus actually came from one of our most important supporters, Kat Taylor. Kat's interests, like our own, span the energy, food, environment, water, health, climate, security continuum. And she has encouraged us to share our knowledge of the connections among them with our students, colleagues, and friends from the community. So I'd especially like to acknowledge our appreciation of Kat and her husband, Tom Steyer. As I mentioned, this is the 4th Connecting the Dots Symposium. And the first one was held in 2011 with food at the center that year. And we're always really pleased to see various new connections come out of this Connecting the Dots series. So in that light, I'm very excited to announce that there's one new tangible outcome of that first workshop, and that's a new book edited by Roz Naylor on the evolving sphere of food security. So it's been written by Stanford authors and visiting fellows from 6 of the 7 schools here at Stanford, and it arose directly from the discussions that surrounded the first Connecting the Dots. The book is going to come out this summer, and it's going to be published by Oxford University Press. So those of you who are interested in food security and its connections to energy, water, health, and conflict worldwide should take a look at the book as soon as it's released. So this year's symposium is focused on changing climate, which is the center of a web connecting to other crucial challenges. So our speakers today are going to come from a variety of different disciplines and perspectives, including communication, biology, policy, human health, energy resource engineering, and earth system science. They come from different disciplines, but they all share an interest in finding solutions to the world's great challenges, and their expertise in one way or another all link back to climate. So we're going to begin the afternoon with an overview of IPCC Working Group 2, Impacts, Adaptation, and Vulnerability, which is going to be presented by Professor Chris Field. He's going to be followed by Stanford researchers Catherine Mock and Michael Mastrandrea, co-directors of science for the IPCC Working Group 2 Technical Support Unit. After a brief break, we're going to split up into 5 different workshops on topics led by Stanford graduate students and research associates. And I encourage you to pick your favorite topic. You can see here, this will come back up later when you're faced with actually having to walk off to one of these. These are really intended to provide a nice forum for lively discussion about these issues. And as you can see on the screen, the topics represented are diverse, provocative, and you might even say controversial, all to engage you in a very lively discussion. So please refer, it's also listed in your program for the location of the session that you wish to attend. Okay, so culminating the day, we're going to bring you back here into McCall Hall for a panel session with Professor Terry Root, John Krosnick, Noah Diffenbach and Charles Kolstad. It's going to be moderated by KQED Public Radio Science and Environmental reporter Lauren Summers. The panel will focus on IPCC Working Group 1, 2, and 3, as well as Professor Krosnick's findings on public perception regarding climate change. There will be a moderated discussion with the panelists, and then you, the audience, will have an opportunity to ask questions of the panel. Finally, Dr. Gro Brundtland will offer her perspective in our keynote address. Dr. Brundtland is the former Premier of Norway, Deputy Chair of the Elders, and currently a Stanford Distinguished Fellow at the Mimi and Peter E. Haas Center for Public Service. This promises to be a really interesting and another lively discussion that you won't want to miss. And then we're going to end the day with a reception and a special performance by Professor John Krosnitz and his Charged Particles Jazz Band, beginning at 5:30 p.m. That's another event you won't want to miss.